Ika-44 nga sesyon ng Sangguniang Panlungsod Siyudad Hiton, Borongan. Hulyo 3, 2020, Part 1.
Umaga. The 44th regular session is now called to order. Let us all stand for the opening prayer, to be led by the Honorable Lyra Limbauan, then followed by our national anthem.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of our Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty Father, Lord and lawmaker par excellence, you who have set everything in accordance with eternal laws, we praise and offer you our sincerest devotion, being the source and end of our existence, both as human beings and as members of the Sangguniang. We thank you for the opportunity to gather as one community of policymakers, and we ask you to send forth your Holy Spirit to guide us as we deliberate on and formulate policies and ordinances for the benefit of our people. Remind us that we are not here to create laws, but to discover those which you have decreed in eternity and enact them in time through local ordinances. Remind us also that in the formulation of such ordinances, we must be guided by the principle that they must not only be in accordance with the will of the majority. Instead, they must be principally rooted upon the eternal foundations of truth, goodness, and justice, which you have set forth from the creation of the world and even before the beginning of time. Remind us further that in crafting such ordinances, we must be guided by the most basic rule of all, that the welfare of the people is the supreme law. And as we end this prayer, we humbly thank you for all that is and has been, the love of family, friends, and co-workers, the joys of life and challenges of our position, all of them blessings, and with faith in your most generous providence, say yes for all that shall be. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. And Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Katrina Anacta-Sadac, kindly lead the Sangguniang Panlungsod Members' Creed.
Please raise your right hand. The Councilor's Creed. I am a Philippine Councilor. Mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances. That redound to the general welfare of my constituents. And their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity. I believe in public service above self. As a guiding principle of my official act. And as I tread the pathways of local legislation. May the Almighty guide my mind and heart. That I shall be true to my constituents and to the Filipino people.
Okay, you may now take your seats. Mr. Secretary, will you please call the roll?
I will now call the roll. Please sound up when your name is called. Honorable Emmanuel Tichosonco.
Present.
Honorable Zen Dalina Daza.
Present.
Honorable Dr. Katrina Anacta-Sadac.
Present.
Honorable Lyra Limbauan.
Present.
Honorable Atty. Kathlyn Cainday.
Present.
Honorable Engineer Melcho Arago.
Honorable Lyra. Honorable Renato C. Bagacay.
Present.
Honorable Attorney Byron M. Sawyer. Honorable Court Ryan. Honorable Glenn Escoto.
Present.
Honorable Rene U.B. Ador Sr. Honorable Melcho Anacta. Mr. Presiding Officer, 11 members are present. This means the quorum. You may proceed with your session.
Yes, attested by our secretary that there are 11 members present. The chair hereby confirms that we have a quorum and we can proceed with our business. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, now move on to the approval of the order of business.
The Honorable Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to move for several items for amendments in our order of business. First is I move for the removal on our proposed ordinance for first reading. Item number 6, an ordinance prescribing the rental rate of buildings number 1 and 2 in the Borongan public market. This has been already tackled for first reading in our previous sessions.
May
The motion.
Any objections? None. Mr. Secretary, please take note. The motion is to be approved. Any more amendments? Go ahead, Honorable Cainday.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to move for the inclusion under our proposed resolution, our declaration to amend the public safety hours to be implemented in our city in accordance with our approved ordinance, an ordinance institutionalizing the implementation of emergency public safety hours in the city of Borongan in times of emergencies and other related or relevant events when extreme measures need to be effected, especially during a state of public emergency.
Any second?
Second the motion.
Any objections? None. So the motion of Honorable Cainday is hereby approved.
And Honorable Presiding Officer,
Yes, go ahead, Honorable.
we have a guest with us. I move that we first tackle our other matters in order for us to accommodate our guests before we proceed with our session proper.
Second the
Any
motion.
objections? None. So motion is hereby approved.
Another
The Honorable
amendment.
Daza first and then Honorable Limbauan. Go ahead, Honorable Daza.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. I have another amendment. Under status report, I move to remove item V, Committee on Laws and Rules.
Item
V, resolution authorizing the local chief executive to enter into any form of contracts or memorandum of agreement with establishments or agencies urgently needed for all COVID-19 related matters, because this has already been discussed during our previous sessions and this has already been resolved.
Okay. Any objections? None. So the motion is hereby approved. Please take note, Mr. Secretary. Yes, go
Honorable
ahead,
Presiding
Honorable.
Officer, I would like to move for the amendment of the figure stated in under the announcement, the appropriation ordinance reverting the salary savings, item number 102148 from the office of yours truly for the month of January to May, the amount of from 158,775 to 186,530 pesos.
500.
To the grants and donations under my office.
Any objections? None? Okay, so please take note, Mr. Secretary. The motion is hereby approved. Any more amendments? None? The Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the order of business as amended.
Second motion.
Any objections? Further discussion? None? So the order of business for today is hereby approved. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, now move on to other matters. Call Mr. Jimmy Kabundukan, PWD officer, to attend the regular session, and he is with us now.
Okay, the Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, since we have our guests today from our PWD office, I move for the suspension of our internal rules of procedure so that we can allow them to speak before this session and for us to be able to propound questions.
Any second?
Second the
Any
motion.
objections? None? The internal rules is hereby temporarily suspended. The Honorable Limbauan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Actually, this naman pagpatawaghan PWD, it was a decision of the Committee on Social Welfare because during our last meeting last June 29, they have given their personal accounts and narratives on how they are being left behind and little attention is given to them. given that they are one of the most vulnerable sectors in our community, I think we should give them time today for them to share us siguro mga storya nila, kung personal experiences, kung ano ba ito na feel nga aton din community, and so we could know on how to help them craft ordinances para mas ma-address ito nila concerns. Sir Jim?
Okay, sige. Kindly state your name first for the record.
Mukha nga yung ano. Itaman lang concern kung tahit PWD, ano, yung hit accessibility law. Ini nga PP 344 nga which is 1982 pa man, December 7, 1982, implemented na main. So karaya kung na ma-implement din hiya Borongan gradually. Kay bisitaman nakikita, bisitaman DSWD ng PWD audit. Kuy kasi kami mayada sinisaring design audit hit mga accessibility law din eh. So it naitatabo kasi, diri kasi kami wala kasi ng power nga ma-implement it nam iton nga balaod. Yun hiton nga mga access mobilization. So asset nga maaron ta kami hayon buli gano hit council nga ma-implement din niya Borongan labi na kay city namang kita. Thank you.
Honorable Presiding Officer.
Yes, go ahead. Honorable Agda.
Sir Jim, ano po, kung pwede po ni Yuhaman ni Gistorya, iyo kinikita nga, kumbaga example, kung diin kamo angay kung madto, pero kinukurian kamo, kay dara nga diri na implementar tain nga atin batas.
Una, no, makato kami iton mga, sugarang kong mga public establishment, even government establishment, mga waray talaga nira mga accessibility. Bisan itatan mga malls. As you can see, waray talaga nira nga tuhit second floor, third floor. So, itatan PWD, siyempre, di rin makakakuha ni tatan social life naman lang, makakuha naman lang itaman depression. At di rin lang anit para hitaman PWD, including may itatan senior citizen.
Yes, oo. Sige, go ahead po. Pero kindly state your name first para sa record. Sige, may po.
Good morning. I am Marilu Villanueva, Secretary of the Borongan Association of Persons with Disabilities. May I add something na kunta specific nga karagtuan namon kunta novo so gahit bisan nga ni di dahil opisina it CSWD it steps ipakadto nag-iisip good actiton kay baka ka ako mahulog ako alam ko kung pang ilang step ako nahulog nga so gadit ba nga napakalaki ng agwat ng pag-i-step takayan nagkaroon na kan accident diri crutches na ginagamit temporarily naghiram ako ng walker so I cannot use walker on steps alone so I really need somebody to assist me mga so gadit ba.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. I truly understand the sentiments of our PWDs. It's now high time for us to act on these matters. I would like to suggest that we request the Office of the Building Officials to conduct a survey in Borongan City. Hain mga building nga diri compliant ito ng access law. Kasi unwittingly, nadi-discriminate natin ang mga PWD. They do not deserve that. They deserve our full support. In fact, in the province, we have now a proposed new building, Capitol building, and there will be an office for PWD at the ground floor. Ang ataran nga yung igukuhan, anak na ilang, hindi yung kinagakuhan. Ngayon sa pako, nato ay baw, proposal may na elevator. Para ma-assure lang natin, kasi unfair naman ito na iyo, nga di ka mo makakasunod. Pero, you have to understand, ano na, di siguro ganun ka, kaya mahal pa siguro ang mga budget. Mabagat pa man mga budget, ano na siguro, given building, di pa kaya nila elevator. Pero this time, there is no excuse. The law is the law. We have no other option but to enforce the law. If that is the case, we have to conduct a survey and then recommend that necessary steps are made sure be made to comply with the access law. Recommended and endorsed by the PWD.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. The Honorable
Thank you,
Scotter
Mr.
first and then Honorable Cainday.
Thank you, Mr. President, Officer. Ubus kita nakakaintindi itong kamutangan itong mga PWD. Upon the requestan ni Atty. Soyot, ng itong building officials kumadto ibang mga buildings, atan lani unahan tatan city itong City Hall, waray ada dinhi kanan bisangan niya third floor. Ipakyana kung din hiraagi. Pangun hagdan. So, atan lanay dinhi kuanon kay dapat syurad kita i-follow na itong mga rules itong building construction.
Okay, sige. Then Honorable, sige, go ahead, Honorable Cainday.
Honorable Presiding Officer, no. Hiya ko, kinita ko hiya nga sa nga ginadakita kunta nga dapat obligasyon hit atan mga PWDs. Actually, asa naksinering haira nga before kasi anaman committee meeting, pinakiana kami, how do you want us to help you? Anakan la binabate haira economically, financially, tagi kami hinhini. Pero when I ask them, nangangaraw na kamuhit, pero asya ba't pinaka-importante? It number one nga yung kinigita dinhi, it number one nga yung dapat aroon, is first and foremost, nga i-recognize, nga i-respeto at yung katungod. Ini nga atin accessibility law, since 1983 pa in here. And clearly, it will tell you here nga no license or permit for construction, repair, or renovation of public and private buildings for public use or any other institutions shall be granted unless the owner-operator shall incorporate such architectural facilities or features to enhance the mobility of disabled persons. So, parang mapapurit kasi nga naghihinatag lakit hairahin temporary nga relief kaya siya ira inaaraw yan na. Pero ito nga number one nga batas nga kumbaga dapat i-right kaya nakatungod dirita na implementar. Hiya ko agree ka katat sinisaring na Atty. Suyot nga magkamay dahin survey. But actually diri na nga ni kailangan kasi totoo pa ni Honorable Escoto dini palahatan diri na implemented. This matter should not be overlooked and should not be taken lightly. Kay wala daw ulit siguro nagrereklamo at building officials, di ba? Kay 1983 pa man hiya, what is the reason kung kaya no dito na implementar? Are we saying nga dito tinatagan ng importansya? Maghuhulat pa ba kita nga may dahaton kumaso or kung ano man? Kaya ko I feel strongly about this kay in all our sectoral groups or organizations, it pinakauna nga dapat iginahatag haira is to give them their rights. We should not be the first one who will violate it. So hakon, karag ko hira, I suggested to them to speak out dinhi. Kay clearly, this will be a platform nga para batigan hira. Diri la dinhi aton kay na sige na might for sure nira sumat. Pero diri binabati. Diri kumbaga dagkaan ira boses. Yan nga may retain sugad yan ang higayon. Karayag ko itira, kumbaga, number one nga mag-speak up, mag-storya nga, di rila kung tati kang hatin. Kay iba may tira na experience kung tatin. So, siguro high time na nga, hikita mag-push forward into renovating our buildings para ma-accommodate namin atin mga persons with disability. So, I commend it aton officers yan ang aanhin nga kumbaga bisan kinurian pag may nakasasaka nga niya na third floor session hall yaan hilagya pera because they're speaking on behalf of all PWDs in Borongan City and even in Eastern Samar. Let us give them a priority and let us give them what is due, and that is kumbaga that is their legal rights under our law.
Mr. Presiding Officer.
Yes, go ahead, Honorable.
Thank you. I'm just a new Sangguniang Panlungsod member. Nga ko asanin nga building. Pero I have a solution. How about we establish a one-stop shop for PWDs? A fast lane for them. Nga dira kinala. So there are various solutions to these matters. Ito importante la diretso ta anong mga tira kadakan nga mga transaction, buligin natin paghimo kita one-stop shop. Kasugad nga nin haira, di na nanira kaya kumadi kinala na ibaw. magpinakuri, magginawa, pwede man, para parehit ka ng di na hospital, naka Senator Bongo. One-stop shop. Para kung ano nito ko, na DSWD, ada ng katanan. Ay laro, di na niyo kinahanglan magsenata. Kay makuri, kung kita kira-kira kamutangan, maiintindihan tayo right. Di na kinahanglan tangan hit, tingada pa. Pagkulaw ta pala, hamon, res ipsa locator na yon. The thing speaks for itself. So, buligan natin nila. Kita ka nakikita, one-stop shop. Kung hailang nga building, except at mga private establishment. Kasi ang mga private establishment, iba itong tindahan itong eh. Kung may second floor, doon market, doon, iba itong. So, there is really a need for them to comply with the law.
Yes, yes. Yes, go ahead, Honorable.
Just
Cainday.
in addition, tamit nga, ako I agree with the suggestion of Attorney Suyot, of Honorable Suyot, nga magkamedit and one-stop shop. But, ayaw ko tapagudang dida, let's make sure nga hira, nakaka-access sira in any part it atin building atin ginihimo. Kay according it atin BP 344, it is also to enable them to participate fully in our social life. So kung nga dali hira permit first floor, it's already discrimination. So nga tanan kunta, second floor, third floor, kunta kaya nira ma-access. Kunta maging stricto kunta din at pag-implementar at atin batas nga wala tagin di-discriminate nga bisan hino. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Arago.
siguro di ngayon kinahanglan pag pinihilabaon kay every one of us knows the plight of the PWDs. Hadto pa yun nga, kinahanglanan talaga magkamayada access to the second floor, to the third floor, or whatever floor din ito natin municipal building. And it should start from us. Outside siguro iba na nga panahon. Maging example ito natin buildings din eh. In fact, when I was mayor, I've been thinking of that, paghimuan na yung elevator ang third floor. Pero sad tunod nga, gikukuri ang kahimtangan to kay municipality pala kita. But now, nakita na kita nga may kwarta itong munisipyo, I think it should be done. And pagmurang mit, I have a suggestion. There is an appropriation, a CDRRMO, for an elevator. I have to ask each and every one of us, which is more exigent, the CDRMO building or the city hall? How about if we ask the mayor, if we request that funding for the CDRMO be given first to the city hall? That could be an immediate solution para I think it's over $1 million ng appropriation. Mas kinahanglanan din niya City Hall para maka-access ko diran nga tuwet mayor, nga tuwet every offices nga niya about.
Seconded.
Pero for the information of everyone, we have discussed this with the mayor regarding the elevator. Wala man bubutangan kasi din na City Hall pero as planned, ada CDRRMO and then parang bubutangan bridge nga hinala
It's not a problem
for access.
It could be well designed by our engineers kung nahin bubutangan itong elevator din ng munisipyo. I think it's not a problem to the technical way.
Yes, we will have to discuss it again with them. Sige. So any more yes, go ahead, Honorable.
Ka-renovate natin, buwan, ano na natin munisipyo, ka-renovate. Ano ini? Kano ba ang pag-renovate natin? So, session hall, kakano ini? Kakano ba ini?
Di na para makinanumdum, pero ihanain.
Kaya saan kung tayo pinakakuan, we set aside certain fund, at least, for an elevator. Set pinakamadali. Tapos sa one-stop shop, kasi kung pag pinabirabihain ito naman, pinalakato ito naman, taray-tarayo, kayo naman. Kanatahin, accessible talaga yung katanan. Di ba? Mas favorable yan sa inyo. Nga makatupa ka man kung garayo eh. Yung pwede man ada lang itahan eh.
Bangin malada mayra magkandidato magdaot
Sige, Honorable Ador. Sige. Agad, Honorable Ador, and then Honorable Scotto, and then Honorable
Thank you, Honorable. Kinikita niya dipikto kung ano nga waray. Excuse. Mga access itong PWD. Tungod itaton mga building inspector, diri ada may na nakakuan kung So wadi 3 stories, magbubutang ng talaga diyan escalator or elevator. Ano nga tinutugutan itong mga building inspector, imbalay, pagbalay, labi na kung mga commercial, diri sinusunod itong
Building code.
that libro, itong building code. So wad na lang siya na nga nagpaadang dida nga building nga 4 stories. Nagpaadang itan mayor, tungod nga waray sunod hirahan, kuanan, nga butangan itilan elevator. Asyad na pag-ud nga na, itsala talaga ini, adat mga building inspector. Kung ano nga nira, ini-implementar, kung ano adat building code. Eh kung nag-ini-implementar kung taiton, diri na nagproproblema ang aton mga PWD. That's all.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Scott first. Then, sige, Honorable Arago. You have the floor.
the problem redounds to the city hall again. Before kita kumantuhin pag-implementar sa balaod, kita na angay magsunod. So we have to solve it first from our own dinhila anay. Although I agree with the proposal of Kagawad Suyot mag-establishing one-stop shop for the PWDs, it is also very important, not only for PWDs, it is mga senior citizens. I think that balaod for 3 stories na nga requirement na itong elevator. At siguro kayang-kaya at prinsipyo at pag-establish ng elevator din. Maguguho man lahat din natin sa nga flooring pagkadaigbaw.
Yeah, we will have to discuss this with the...
If not the CDRRMO funding, possibly siguro we go to the infrastructures kadiri pagod masyado ang kinahanglan. Ikadaanay ito nga pundo.
Sige, Honorable okay. So yun, Honorable Cainday.
Since the budgeting period is almost in the corner, siguro i-assure natin na by next year we should provide an appropriate amount to address the concern of the PWD.
Yeah, go ahead, Honorable Cainday.
Haka na nun, maupay ka nga suggestion, but itak pag kinulaw, let us not wait for next year. Hitat implementation niya na hitat nga tinatagan, ngayon nga tanan nga ti aruhin business permit, let us make sure that this will be implemented. Let us parang kuan I don't even want to go into specifics kadiniha aton ha City Hall. Maram na katat aton ni himuon. So it akin la nga maging aware kita nga no matter kung gaano ka kore, wara lugar, wara kwarta, do something about it. Kaya nakapaghimo ka tahin iba nga programs pero it's so guide ito nga pag-implementahin batas dita nahihimo. Itakan ka lang igsumat ka na Sir Jim anuhan kan Mamalu nga kung sana habang tikang niya na diri ka mo kunta umodeng nga kumbaga ipaglaban it iyo katungod. Bisan lang itong laan niya ng accessibility law. Kaya nadideprive talaga kamo itong mga serbisyo nga dapat iyo natatagamtaman. Ngayon totoo pa ni Sir Jim ang social life. Because, magkakatawa kita social life. But that is true. It is they should be part of the community. So there is no reason for us to discriminate them by not giving them access to these places na kunta dapat may naman nila access. So, dapat itatan kalawanin problem as a whole. We should be wary and dapat atanin hiya tagahan ginadakil nga importansya kay kumbaga dapat higit magpasubad. Diba? We are legislators, we are lawmakers, pero napiyong kitahit nga atan sayop nga what could be our reason 1983 palit nga batas na kada na itiya. So yan nga nagkakaminiran platform to speak. I hope nga in all our legislations, in all our implementation of our laws, we keep in mind nga may datang mga tao nga kailangan ng special attention nga dirita ang ilapiyungan. So that's all, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Yeah, sige, go ahead, Honorable Lasso.
If you will notice, Mr. Presiding Officer, I would like to inform our visitors, our guests in our session today. Nabisan nga like for example, dito sa merkado, may mga tindahan, nagpapapliti kita, may data second floor. Pero ito na second floor, kung nabaga, gera, denial access, AD, anti-access, anti-denial, parang mahori. At na din I think we should look for immediate solution. Siguro, but what we can assure you that we will do everything in our power to help you. As ita may assure, and by next year, funding, we will make sure we will seek the approval of the executive, nga mamayda ka tanan, hindi ka aton mga government buildings, city buildings especially, dapat mayda naman lang niyo kanan, either ka kanan pag-roll or elevator. Kasi pag pinulaw ko, that is, the city can afford the establishment of that structure. Ngan kuan ini mo pay nga ni nalanganin actually may hanay nga problema na highlight line niya na kasi gani ka mo. Damo na kung lilibuton ta la din, it's sad to say that lilibuton natin. Di ba? Di ba damo?
Kindly use the microphone.
It may power iton atan Office of Building Official. Office of Building Official right it nag-a-approve it plans. Itakan la nga era i-review it plan. Tapos era kuanan kung ano it added National Building Code. So era kung ta sondon. Hindi rin mag-review era National Building Code kundi era maaram ano. Thank you.
Yes. Honorable Limbauan.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Actually, in nga era problemic accessibility law, we know nga may rin national law. And bisan nga na din niya atin, may rin gin-adapt nga local ordinance about hin. Siguro, kailangan talatig update para may ma-update gihapon ito na atin mga building officials kaysa rin paman nga giihay na inya nga law, pero di na napapanginano. And maupay nala kay nabati naman mismo iyo, Sir Jim. Sir Jim, itong president itong PWD nga, iyo mismo nabati niya yung mga problems regarding the accessibility law. And as the chairman of social welfare, I will make sure nga iga-update ta ito natin existing ordinance regarding hin nga mga laws nga connected with PWD. Sir Jim, during our meeting, may dapat niyo concerns nga na-raise. Siguro, this is the time, perfect time nga pwede naman niyo i-share para mabati ito na ating bugos nga sanggunian. Yes, ma'am.
Sige, go ahead.
Hello. Everyone, may dapagad ng other concerns, pero it's up to you na lang kung gaano ka priority. But given the opportunity, we mention na lang namon. Dapat yan ang month, we are to be celebrating NDPR Week, National Disability Prevention and Rehabilitation. National. And then, siyempre, hindi na matutuloy yun, but may nagkaroon ng budget yun, you know. I don't know if kung maikukuan for the welfare of if not all of PWDs, most of us, yung I am ready kit, baka makatulong, yung merong mga, yung may mga pang first aid, at tawag doon yung vest, yung para sa mga disaster, mga sugadhead. I don't know kung ano pa yung mga laman nun, but then sugadhead, may mga whistle, yung for, tapos, sort of parang sticker din na maka-identify sa household na merong PWD residing, kung maiaan yun sa budget. Hindi naman siguro kalakihan. I don't know. Basta, mention ko ang kunala, Tapos, may da kasi ako nung pag-attend ko hang January last year on Inclusive Data Management System for Persons with Disabilities, the national consultation by the Center for Disaster Preparedness. Nagkuanhira, provide haamon hin IDMS tool, which is a survey tool. Kaso mo, it's a 12-page survey form na parang maupay kung tayo na database na. Tapos detail ang kuan, kada household ba kukuan na ito na survey form. It's a 12-page para ng budget. Pero siguro kung back-to-back, magiging 6 sheets na lang sugahit. But I have a copy kung pwede ibibigay namin through the flash drive. Para maging standard yung yung survey form namin, profiling for database na.
Okay. Noted.
Sa pangaman araw na, number 1 talaga nga, magkamay-ada ng pidaw din na Borongan. para siya maging representative para kay itsukad hinaman if kuwan man lang tiya. So, at least may ada bodies nga mga kapatid WD, magko-coordinate nga net city. Sa kung tatanaman nga may adat daw. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
PDAW Persons with Disability Affairs Office.
Okay.
Meaning
Honorable Suyot first and then Honorable Limbauan.
Actually, itaton kanina, we will nasupport na kami nga iyo ikinuha na kinahanglan magkamay din pinaw dapat la ito. Ang kare ko gyapon klaro nga itamon la din ni karayag not only that you have an access to the building, itamon pa kare access to basic and essential services.
Yes.
Diri lang access sa mga building, but likewise to basic and essential services.
Sige. Go ahead, Honorable Limbauan.
Kini nga PDAW nga gin si Sir Jim, may tanhin ordinance sponsored by then Honorable Jennifer Anasio. Pero may da mga provisions dito nga ata napansin nga kailangan ta i-review again. That's why siguro at the next session ipapa-calendar ko na for amendments in ating PDAW so that ito na ating PWDs magkamayada na nirahin permanent nga parang representative. So ganito natin OSCA, may data OSCA head para ito nga magiging PDAW, hiya mismo it manginginano kung ano it mga kinahanglan ito natin PWDs din niya Borongan.
That's the ma'am. Pwede mag-add?
Sige, go ahead.
Ang experience ko, before kasi maging ordinance, tinagang kami ang draft ni Ma'am Jenny. The very content nung ordinance, wala lang mga approval pa. But then I have now a copy. It was August, pa siya na-approval? 17, 2018.
2018.
Yes. Tapos hindi ko pa, wala pa aking kopya, nag-apply because I know my qualifications will suffice dun sa hinahanap dito. And they are not only, it's not only one position. So, hindi naman ako nag-interest sa pinaka-highest. Kahit isa lang sa So, nagpadala ako ng letter of application kay ex-mayor Abunda. And then, when I went to her personally, follow up ko at tapos sabi ko nga, ma'am, magsi-60 na ako. Wala pa ng PDAW, sabi naman niya. Okay lang yun, diri may kuan kung 60 ka na, pwede ka pa kung ma-employ. So, kahit. So, 2019, submit naman ako HRMO, in application letter naman, with my attachments, PDS. Tapos, tinagan damakin list. Yung kinupply ko lahat, yun, sabi ko, parang sa permanent position na to, pero, dahil, sabi mo, siya ba namin natagak? Sabi ng bilas ko, nasa mayor's. Yung may takparag ko na HRM, okay, sa ako naman araw-araw akyat baba. So then that happened. Na-comply ko, naabutan naman ako na election ban, so kahit. And after the election, wala muna hiring. So, eto nangyari. So, I became hopeless, frustrated, angry at myself. So kahit ba na. But then yung buti na lang na ito na nga nangyayari. So nagkamay-ada na naman pag-asa. Actually, yung ordinance na very original ordinance na pinabasa sa akin ni Ma'am Elsie Ador, siguro yung doon pa sa Manila, there were only 3 positions. Isang head at 2 assistant. SG-22 nga nilaan ko ang head, tapos assistant 1 is SG-14, assistant 2 is SG-12. Yun lang. Pero wala pa kita hindi. Ito na yung nahawakan kong kopya. I don't know. Yun lang ang gusto ko ma-share. So, I'm hoping.
Any more? Go ahead, Honorable
Thank you.
It's very timely pa daw ito na gin-istorya ato na natin source person. Kasi kung gagalalo na yan nga panahon ng pandemic, economically, we are down. The country is economically down. Bugos sa kalibutan, economically down. Kada mo nagsasara ng mga negosyo. Dibortain hira kasi vulnerable sector itong sosyedad. Kinahanglan natin buligan itong gobyerno. Kung ano ita pwede may hatag hayra, himuon natin. Kasi para in hayra. Kasi yan ang panahon, makuri nga tanan it kamutangan, lalo na ang mga vulnerable sector itong susidad.
Okay, sige. So any more questions, suggestions from the Sige, ma'am, sir, rest assured nga kami din na Sangguniang at LGU is magtatrabaho. We will have, para mas ma-detailed pa aton kay nakita kami nga damo pa trabahon, we will have to refer this to the Committee on Social Welfare kan Honorable Limbauan para matutukan gud kamo kung ano taton mga kinahanglanan pangabalaod din sa City Hall. Di Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, since there are no more questions or clarifications, I move for the lifting of our suspension of our internal rules of procedures so that we can proceed with our session proper.
Second the motion.
Any objections? None. So the temporary suspension of our internal rules is by lifted. So, ma'am, sir, thank you very much. Ano yung pagkanhi? So rest assured nga panginginanuhon tayo. Sige, Madam Floor Leader.
Next item.
I-refer to me. Papabay na. Sige. So, next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, now move on to item number 7, reading and consideration of the minutes of the regular session held on December 11, 2019 and June 24, 2020.
Okay, so the minutes was emailed to you by our secretary. So 5-minute reading and consideration from the minutes of the previous session. Okay, sige. So let's discuss first the minutes from the regular session held last December 11, 2019. So any corrections? Any amendments? None? The Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the minutes of the regular session held last December 11, 2019.
Any second? Any objections? Further discussions? None? So the minutes from the regular session held last December 11, 2019 is hereby approved. Let's move on to the minutes from June 24, 2020. Any corrections? Amendments? None? The Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the minutes of the regular session held last June 24, 2020.
Second the motion.
Any objections? Further discussions? None. So the minutes from June 24, 2020 is hereby approved. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
On calendar of business, we have the status report, finance regarding the proposed ordinance regarding Borongan City Tabo Night Market Day.
Okay, so the Committee Chair on Finance, you have the floor.
Honorable Presiding Officer, the last committee meeting held regarding this matter was on April 27, 2020. However, we are awaiting for we're waiting for several documents to be submitted by our city market officers, which are first the floor plan of the proposed Tabo or Night Market Day, which will categorize different products or different items which may be sold during that Tabo Day or Night Market, and the revised architectural plan of the proposed area for the Night Market Day. So pending the submission of these documents, the committee will reschedule another meeting. Thank you.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Honorable Cainday. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Committee on Finance regarding the assessor's request, proposed revision of the schedule of market value of real property in the city of Borongan.
So the Committee Chair on Finance, you have the floor.
Honorable Presiding Officer, the last update on this was on November 15, 2019, wherein a public hearing was held and which was attended by stakeholders, landowners, such as Mr. Kenneth Incienso, Mr. Danny Amboy, among others. And the committee presented to the stakeholder the proposed revision of the schedule of fair market value of the real properties in the city of Borongan. The stakeholders were able to air their concerns or their opinions on their part. However, the revision of this proposed ordinance is still pending since it is not really urgent as of this moment that we're still under the COVID-19 pandemic. So after the more urgent matters, we will reschedule again another committee meeting in order to revise this further.
Okay, noted. Sige. So, next item, Mr. Secretary.
Social welfare regarding the proposed revision of Gender and Development Code.
So, the Committee Chair on Social Welfare.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I am now in the process of consulting with different sectors in our community so that we can make a more comprehensive gender and development code. So I need more time again to revise the SIGAD code. Thank you.
Okay. Noted. So, next item, Mr. Secretary.
Disaster management regarding the proposed ordinance mandating all motorcycle riders to wear protective helmets while driving.
The Committee Chair on Disaster Management.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. The Committee on Disaster has not yet conducted a public hearing due to the COVID pandemic problem, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you.
Okay. Sige. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Joint Committee Finance and Trade regarding amendment of Market Code.
So, the Committee Chair on Finance and Trade.
Honorable Presiding Officer, committee meeting was held last July 2, 2020 regarding the January 3, 2020 regarding the amendment of the Market Code, wherein several resource speakers were invited. During such committee meeting, it was found we were unable yet to discuss about the auction rules and fees, which are subject for amendment under the Market Code. And since this COVID-19 pandemic, we have not had another committee meeting regarding this revision, since it is not really urgent. But after taking up again urgent matters, committee meeting will be rescheduled regarding this proposed ordinance.
Okay, noted. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Personnel Administration regarding the Legislative Human Resource Development Plan.
Honorable Presiding Officer,
Yes, go ahead.
this is still pending. This matter is not urgent at the moment, and the Praise Committee is also busy giving out awards right now, so they have not yet submitted the resolution up to now.
Okay, noted. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Committee on Transportation regarding an ordinance prescribing clear guidelines on towing, impounding and relation of impound vehicles, and providing certain penalties as may be appropriate and necessary.
So, the Committee Chair on Transportation.
Mr. Presiding Officer, I am including this in the consolidation of our ordinances for the amendment of our present transportation ordinance. So, perhaps because of the situation now, I cannot schedule yet a public hearing, consultation, or committee meeting when the COVID issue relaxes. I'll be trying to immediately call a committee meeting on these matters. Total consolidation of our traffic ordinance, transportation ordinances, including this towing and impounding, and the prohibition of tricycles and pedicabs along the National Highway.
Okay. Noted. Thank you, the Committee Chair on Transportation. So, next item, Mr. Secretary.
Committee on Youth and Sports Development regarding the proposed ordinance creating Borongan City Sports Council.
Since the Committee Chair is absent, who is the Vice Chair, the Honorable Limbauan?
Honorable Presiding Officer, we haven't scheduled the meeting yet regarding this, but I will let the chairman know so that we can schedule ASAP a meeting regarding this matter. Thank you.
Okay, noted. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Laws and rules regarding a resolution creating backstopping committees of the Sangguniang Panlungsod.
The Committee Chair on Laws and Rules.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. We conducted the committee meeting last June 30, 2020. As to the composition of the backstopping committees, we discussed several government agencies as to the members of the standing committees, but due to lack of time, this proposed resolution is subject for further committee meetings. to discuss the duties and responsibilities of the backstopping committees.
Okay, noted. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Committee on Transportation regarding the memorandum issued by the ILG prohibiting tricycle and pedicab on national highways.
So the Committee Chair on Transportation.
Yes, this is issue will be considered in consolidation of our transportation ordinances. And I am adamant that the Traffic Management Office is already ready for the recommendation because they have done their part on our dry runs on this matter for almost 1 month already.
Okay, noted. Okay. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Committee on Tourism regarding the proposed ordinance prescribing rules and guidelines for the establishment, operation, and maintenance of cockpit arenas and derby centers.
The Committee Chair on Tourism.
Mr. Presiding Officer,
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Arago.
Transportation.
Tourism. The Honorable Kurt.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. With regards to the matter, we haven't conducted any committee hearings yet because under the national directives, cockfighting is still prohibited during this pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, noted. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Joint Committee, Transportation and Finance regarding the proposed ordinance establishing free transportation for students and senior citizens in Borongan City.
So the Committee Chair on Transportation. The Honorable
Mr.
Arago.
Presiding Officer, may I inform the body that our previous committee meeting, we were almost ready with the passage of the ordinance, but
Yes,
then there was that issue that we should consult the Department of Transportation. And as of now, we were required to submit a project brief or a project proposal to the DOTR, and we cannot proceed with the committee meeting without the comment of the DOTR. Upon consultation with the BCTT manager and the planning officer, city planning officer, they have drafted already that proposal, and they will be submitting it to the DOTR Tacloban. Then, after which, whatever the result, I will call an immediate committee meeting on this matter to fast track this ordinance on free transportation. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. The Committee Chair on Transportation. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Joint Committee, Peace and Order and Laws and Rules regarding the proposed resolution authorizing the City Mayor in behalf of CLG Borongan to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the National Bureau of Investigation.
So the Committee Chair on Peace and Order and Laws and Rules.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. With regards to the proposed resolution authorizing the City Mayor in behalf of the CLG Borongan to enter into a memorandum of agreement, the committee has not yet conducted a meeting since there's no urgency coming from the Office of the Mayor, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Okay, noted. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
The Committee on Health regarding the proposed ordinance institutionalizing public safety protocols in terms of public health emergencies.
So the Committee Chair on Health.
Honorable Presiding Officer, due to the rising number of LSIs and OFWs entering our city of Borongan, the resource persons are still busy at the moment, hence we have not conducted a meeting yet.
Okay, noted. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Joint Committee Infrastructure and Finance regarding the infra projects in Barangay Cabalagnan Dam site.
So the Committee
Thank
Chair
you,
on
Mr.
Infrastructure.
Presiding Officer. Actually, last week we have started a committee meeting on this with the presence of several engineers from our city engineering office. However, their presentation was not so clear, so we requested them to add some information on their presentation on the projector. So, we not only for the stated projects here, but totally the whole infrastructure projects of Borongan. So, we scheduled a committee meeting, and they will present us the update this July 7 in the morning. And I want to make the opportunity to invite each and every Panlungsod member to attend so that every one of us will be updated on the status of our infrastructure projects, overall infrastructure projects, not only for these 7 projects, but for the 2019 unfinished projects and our 2020 ongoing projects. It will be a repeat. It will be July 7, 9 o'clock in the morning. The engineering office will be presenting total updates of these infra projects.
Okay. Sige. Noted. Thank you, Honorable Arago. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Joint Committee, Trade and Finance regarding an ordinance institutionalizing partnership by the City Government of Borongan with providers of goods and services through a memorandum of agreement to ensure the availability within the City of Borongan immediately before, during, and right after the state of calamity.
So the committee chair on trade and finance.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. This is to manifest to the body that the said committee referral has already been taken in action as per research and preparation for the committee meeting. Thank you.
Okay, noted. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Committee on Personal Administration regarding an ordinance requiring the different offices of the city government, other government offices, business establishments, and other entities to formulate, practice, and promote electronic, online, and mobile operation, procedures, and processing to lessen the need for face-to-face transaction within the city of Borongan.
Honorable Presiding
Yes, go
Officer,
ahead, Dr.
we will be having a consultative meeting with the IT on Monday, July 6 at 9 a.m.
Okay, noted. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Committee on Agriculture regarding the Dukwag Agricultura.
The committee chair on agriculture.
The Chair Committee on Agriculture is still awaiting with the finalization of the proposed amendments, especially on the financial side, from the Committee on Finance.
Yes, go ahead, the committee, the Honorable Cainday.
Honorable Presiding Officer, the Committee on Finance regarding our Dukwag Agricultura Ordinance has conducted a committee meeting yesterday at 9 o'clock in the morning, attended by our finance people and our city agriculturists. Among the more important matters which were taken up was first, that we should indicate in our ordinance that the time of the release of the loanable amounts should coincide with the cropping season, depending on the products that we are advocating to allow our farmers to grow. The second was that the time of the collection of their payment should coincide with the harvest period. The third one was that part of the requirements for the for allowing our farmers to be able to avail of our Dukwag Agricultura program, the loan portion, is that the area that they are the area that they are going to develop or to plant on should be on the areas where the product or the crop is viable as per result of the soil testing. And that another update also during that meeting was that Mr. Gabornes, our city agriculturist, will still submit to us a further information regarding our vegetables and fish production, which will be part of the Dukwag Agricultura program. The next meeting is scheduled next week with our representatives from Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation, in order for the city to have at least a security that the money that we will loan to our farmers will not only be given to them without security, but at least they will be able to have insurance on their crops. And also, we will invite our people from DAR and DENR to tell us about the proof of ownership of lands or permission to use the lands of which is owned by the government if they will apply to avail of our loan under the Dukwag Agricultura program. So in short, the concerns also of our finance manager is how to assess the farmers' financial capability, their capacity to pay, so that the taxes of the people will not just be given without proper study on the matter on how to efficiently collect and enable them to repay us. So another committee meeting will be held on this matter, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Igpapasigi buwas and Part 2.